एतावानस्य महिमा अतो ज्यायागुंश्च पूरुषः पादोः अस्य विश्वाभूतानि त्रिपादस्यामृतं दिवि. And one trick for the pitches is mentally, if you locate the sound coming from throat is Svarita, diaphragm is Udata, and Anudata is way in the Muladhara.
Professor, I'm sorry to ask, but can you point like in the symbols, like what is Svarita, what is...
Very good. Yes, that's important. So, Pu comes from the diaphragm, Ru from the throat, Sh diaphragm, A comes from the Muladhara, Vedagum diaphragm, Sarvam comes up to the throat again. Is that making sense?
Just as symbols, I guess, Professor.
Like that bottom bar, that is Anudat.
Yes, going down to the diaphragm.
Professor, I'm asking about these red symbols, that red marks on the text. If you can, like...
Zarur. So, can you see my cursor? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So, Purusha, the stroke on top is the high pitch, comes from the throat, Svarita.
Okay.
And then A here is Anudata.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, that's that is from the low one. That is coming from the Mooladharam.
Okay.
Is that clear?
And
Yes,
Svarita is not mentioned, right, Professor? Not annotated.
Which one?
Svarita.
No, that is Udata, I think.
Oh, that. Okay.
And the double slash means it should be prolonged. Sarvam, like that.
It's
you see the double quotes. Sarvam, and then when you say, where did it go? This Chandra Bindu with the halant is a gumkaram. That e veda gum. E veda gum, that gumkar. So 5 things to keep in mind. High pitch, no pitch, which is middle, low pitch, extended sarvam, and then gumkar. Quite a bit to keep in mind.
The gumkar also you are going the high pitch.
Gumkar is not supposed to, but it. I'll say it and you see how it sounds. Okay, so Purusha evedagum sarvam. It's actually middle pitch, I think.
Okay.
So it's like in music where you are actually going up and down the octaves, or
Exactly. It is very much like music, but music with 3 notes.
Okay.
Okay.
One thing. So the red line on the top, the single line.
Yes.
So that means it's a high pitch, also
Yes.
coming from throat. That
High pitch always comes from the throat. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So that is always concordance, right? Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Lower one comes from low pitch and always from the Mooladhara.
Right.
Okay.
So 3 verses we have finished. So again, to remember the meaning, Purusha has 1,000 heads, 1,000 eyes, and 1,000 feet. He enveloped the whole world and situated himself 10 angulas beyond. So know that everything is Purusha. What has happened and what is to happen. And he is the Lord of immortality. And all that eats food and grows is also Purusha. This is his greatness. Etavan asya mahima. Ato jyayagumscha. But Purusha is even greater than that. Padoho asya vishwabhuta. So 1/4 of or his feet may be considered the Vishwa. Tripada, the other three parts, quarters, are the firmament, and is that part is immortal. So the Purusha with 3/4 of his being, 3/4 part of his, which is immortal, is established in heaven. Right. So to give you the translation from this, the Purusha or the primeval being has 1,000 heads, 1,000 eyes, and 1,000 feet. He has enveloped this world from all sides and has even transcended it by 10 angulas. All this is verily the Purusha. All that which existed in the past or will come into being in future is also the Purusha. He is the Lord of immortality. That which grows profusely by food is also the Purusha. So much is his greatness. However, the Purusha is greater than this. All the beings form only a quarter part of him. The 3/4 part of his, which is immortal, is established in heaven. Next time, we will take up from verse 4 onwards. Any questions?
This Swara explanation was very helpful. Was not sure where to stress, where to move up there. This is getting clear now. Yeah.
Wonderful. I also saw an improvement after the explanation. It's not easy, definitely. I'll say that. You're doing very well. It will take some practice, but I think it's getting better. Like you say, because there are so many things it seems like when you're learning to keep in mind. Hrasva, Dirgha, where are the accents? Where is the pitch? In the beginning, there will be some jumbling. It's natural. Don't worry about it. But the more and more you listen, and you listen to it you can even listen to that if you find a recording of Chalakare Brothers or something, can be pretty decent. Yeah, that's very good actually. So the more you listen, the more it will become firm. Or you can listen to the first 3 I recorded. That would be a good practice.
Yeah, even all the Sandhya Bandhanam and this one. So with proper swaras from your recording, maybe we should put them together in a go, so would listen. Yeah, listening very helpful. Sometimes even commuting, I repeatedly listen to you.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mahesh. I'm glad it is useful.
Professor, just smaller.
Yes.
So this Sahasra or Sahasra, that symbol little confuses me. Is it Stra or Sra?
Sra.
Okay.
Good point. Sometimes it is said as, like even when people say Sahasrarjun, but it is only Sra. Yeah.
Okay.
And sometimes, like in the way this is a peculiarity of the Vedic pronunciation. So if normally you may just say Shirsha, but it's Shirsha. There is a lengthening of that Shirsha, right? So those things are a bit peculiar to Vedic chanting, and we just have to pay attention and pick it up.
Is it because of the Dirgha on the C?
Pardon me?
Is it because of the Dirgha on the C?
It is that, but also it is almost like, in Hindi, for instance, you just say Shirsha, but in the pronunciation, to keep the cadence correct, you have to give it a little Shirsha. You have to give it a little more time. Only then it sounds good in the poem, if you know what I mean. Even in English, if you have seen in some poems, they will have an accent on some words, and that word is pronounced slightly differently than in the prose. It's meant to keep the cadence of the poem. Maybe we can find an example to discuss next time.
Yes.
Okay, very good. Anything else?
Dr. Sangha, a quick question on the symbol on the Padoho Asya, the
Right.
symbol that looks like it. Is it?
Uh-huh.
What does it do?
The
Behind
double one
Behind the door.
lengthens
Behind it.
it doubles the sound itself. Padoho.
Right. So how about the symbol after that? Does it have any?
Which one?
Oh, I think this
After do,
is
yes.
Apagraha.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it is an a. When a comes after a vowel, it becomes made into that. And
Oh,
instead
okay.
of saying asya separately, you kind of blend it in. So pado asya vishwa, pado asya vishwa, like that. You kind of blend it in with the.
Okay. Thank you.
Clear?
Yes.
Okay. Very good. So many details. That's why they say the best way to learn is to try and teach it. Very good revision for me also. We are all learning. I'm sure my swaras will get improved after this exercise. Very good. Namaste, everyone. So nice to see you. Have enjoyed the Saptami and see you in a week. Huh?